go. Hello, Future Bestsellers. Welcome to today's live stream. I feel a little sad, Robert, because I did not dress up for our stream today. And you did. Tell us, pray tell, who are you this Halloween?
Well, I am, as ever, the story detective. I have the library sweater, the deerstalker, and my Sherlockian lens handy.
Well, that's good. You can dig right into the mystery of craft today. I'm very excited about that. Love. I guess I'm going to have to find, during the 5-minute sprint, I will have to find a Halloween costume from amongst the rubble of my office. So everybody's excited. Lady says, "Woo, Robert, you look fabulous." Cheers from Mary's at a writer's retreat this week. Very nice. I love it. Avi was here first. Rise the Star. Yay. So glad to see you. Horror Geek giving me smack from over there. Now I gotta make Lisa restart the stream so I can be first. All right, there we go. Lisa and Sir Sherlock Fancy Pants. Very nice. Very nice. We're not sure about Michelle today. I think you guys know last week she had a meeting that she could not reschedule. So I'm not sure if we're going to see her today or not, because of course I did not send the link until the very last second. Hi, Danielle Lynn. Very glad to see you. Very, very nice. So I'm sorry, I just got a text from Lainey and it like confused my brain. Let's do our intros. Well, because I had a picture. So that was it. Like that 3 things to pay attention to. I'm short-circuited now. Let's do our intros. Robert, so glad to have you as always. Tell the fine folks a little about you and your awesome channel.
My channel is The Story Detective, where I separate the facts from the fairy tales of fiction. Then I place them beneath my Sherlockian lens. Deliver results to the master so that they may write better stories. So, bring lots of coffee and join me in a deductive storytelling session.
Very, very nice. I love that. Here, that was really sort of epic the way that you worked that in. So here. We love the full on thing. Okay, so I see what Lainey texted me, and it is her Halloween costume. Lainey, can I share this with the class?
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see. Hold on. I will see if I can pull it up this way. I don't know if I can or not. Oh, let me see. If not, I will figure out a way to do it. Image file. Let's see what I've got here. Oh no. Okay. Tell you what, I will share, as long as it's okay with Lainey, I will share the picture when we come back from the 5-minute sprint. It's pretty awesome. Okay, good. All right, share away. Oh, if I do that, it's going to be all good. Like I don't want to ruin the epicness of this costume because it's kind of awesome. So here's what we're going to do. First, I'm going to tell you who I am. Hi, I'm Lisa Daly. And on my channel, we talk about how to write a book we're super proud of and get it published. And yeah, so there we go. That's who I am. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off today with our usual 5-minute sprint. I am going to manage the technology, which I think just involves me downloading the picture onto my laptop. And I will share. You guys have a reason to be excited. I know no one will be able to write because we're all going to be so like, I want to see Lainey's costume. But it's pretty amazing. So, okay. I did not get a haircut. Thank you for asking. It's all back here. There we go. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and start off with our first 5-minute warm-up sprint. Go ahead and get your documents out. Or your whatever you're planning on working on today. We're going to warm up for 5 minutes. What was that?
Your Sherlockian lens ready.
Right, your Sherlockian lens, your costume, whatever you need. All right, here we go, everybody. We're going to get started. And your vat of caffeine, as always. All right, everybody, starting in 3, 2, one. Let's cha-cha. All right, we are back. Let me get rid of that video. Okay, I found a this is it. Like, what costume can you have in your office? I happen to have a tiara nearby at all times in case I need to do any royal work. So I'm going to be publishing princess today. Okay. I mean, it's not anywhere near as good as yours, Robert, but I feel like, I'd like to join the party too. So I'm kind of excited about it. I'm going to make it work. So speaking of Halloween costumes, hold on. I'm going to share Laney's. Let's see. Share screen. Cancel. Hold on. What do I want to share here? Image file. All right. Did it work? Ta-da! So I love it. I think it's awesome. I particularly enjoy the expression and the hairline. So very nice work. Love, love, love that. Very nice. So that's our Laney for you guys. I think that's kind of awesome. All right, now I have to figure out how to get it right. Nope, that's not it. All right, so
coat and the mittens lately because it got really chilly.
yeah. That's great. That is funny. Okay, I don't know how to get rid of it. It's just going to stay with us apparently forever. Hold on, let me see if I can share screen. Let's see if we can just pop up the timer, and then that's easy to get out of. There we go. Okay. All right. That was wildly entertaining. I love it. We used to go to this amazing Halloween party every year, where some friends, like, how in Halloween party or in movies there's always like that incredible Halloween party where everybody just goes all out and everything, like, right?
Mhm.
But you've never been to that Halloween party in real life because it typically does not exist at that level. Well, these folks have this giant mansion on the bay. Halloween is their favorite holiday. They have a hearse parked in the front yard. They do like a whole full-on haunted maze for the kids. There's their Halloween themed drinks. There's a bit, like, it's the best Halloween party you've ever been to in your entire life. And I think we stopped going around COVID and we have not been back, but that is the place where you would, like, people prepare for months to have like an awesome Halloween costume there. And I will say my favorite costume I ever wore there was this cute little dress with like, I can't remember what they're called. It's like a parfait where there are all these layers, and I hand sewed uh, 50 different gray paint palettes on the dress. So it was like all like a fringe dress almost. And I was 50 shades of gray. Get some paint. Now, that was a while ago. It was when the book was like a big thing. It wasn't like today. But anyway, that was my costume that was like one of my favorite costumes that I ever wore to that party, although I wore many others. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, so favorite Halloween costume, I think that feels like a good thing. Tell us what you guys are working on today and tell us your favorite Halloween costume. Okay, a princess, a detective, and Bernie Sanders walk into a bar. Yes. Love, 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 love. Ladies, what do you, love, 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 love. All right. So yeah, okay. So what are you going to be working on today?
I'm just going to work on my October story that I started a year or so back. Well, I did a finished draft of it last year, and I'm going to do some revisions on that since it's short, and that'll get me through the rest of the month into November, where I have some client work. So I'm not diving into anything big.
I get that. That is, I can feel that. I feel that vibe right here. I'm going to be working on a client's workbook for their nonfiction book. And I'm super excited about that. It was one of those things where I was like, let me just help you with it. And then now I'm like just doing it. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing today. Not exactly writing, but writing adjacent. Let us know in the chat, you guys, what you're going to be working on today. And let's get started with our first 20-minute warm-up sprint, shall we? All right, let me get this up on the thing here. I also want to talk about, for anybody who's got audiobooks in Spotify, I just got my payout yesterday and I was surprised. I will tell you why.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was wondering how much people were going to get, whether it was going to be more than $12.
It I'll tell you what surprised me when we do our little news segment today. All right, here we go, everybody. I know you guys are like, we can't wait. So let's get started with our first 20-minute warm-up sprint, starting in 3, 2, 1. All right, we are back. Very nice. How did everybody do on that first sprint? We're excited to hear. How'd you do, Robert?
Pretty good. I'm just figuring out my own editing notebook to put some things together for this story.
Cool. I love it. It looks like it got suddenly like darker through like I look like I'm a little bit in the dark? Hold on. I'm going to just turn my light up just a little bit.
It's a little bit dim, but it's dim outside here too. So
it is. It's very dim. All right. I added a little sunshine. So there we go. All right. Fantastic. Super. I didn't make a lot of progress, but I did make enough progress. So I'm excited about where the workbook's going. I'll show you guys at the end if you have any interest at all in seeing it. Okay. So let's see. What do we have here? We finished up with, a princess, a detective, and Bernie Sanders walk into a bar. Mary wants to know what they would order. Lainey says a Shirley Temple, a whiskey sour, and a Paloma. I don't have any idea where you came up with that, but I love it. It's so specific. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's see. Oh, look at you. A whiskey and soda and a glass of sherry or port, depending on the time of day and how big the problem was at hand. I love it. All right. So Mary's working on Seniors Gone Wild, and a huge chunk of folks at the writers' retreat are my parents' age or older. I'm the youngest at 54. Spring chicken. I had a similar experience when I had a hip surgery. I was like 29, I think. Wait, was I 29? I think I was like 29. I was like the youngest person on there by like 50 years. Like it was a lot. Okay, so here we go. Avi preparing my vampire K-pop story, which is a Snow White retelling where Snow White and Rose Red are super fans of the dwarfs who are famous K-pop idols who may or may not be creatures of the undead. Love, love, love that. Danielle outlining chapter 3 and maybe chapter 4. Free range female just got here. Robert here is in his full Sherlock story detective mode with his Sherlock. If you were wondering no one was wondering where I wear a tiara, because just the fact that I have one at arm's length in my office is probably enough to know. But Robert, this is pretty exciting for Halloween. I wish we'd been better, like plan the whole thing out. Would be kind of funny to have everybody send in pictures. Avi says, don't have a favorite Halloween costume so long as it's creative. From the spooky witch to Rumi from K-pop demon hunters, there's so many options. Yep. Yeah, right. So true. So true. Aw, thank you. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Okay. I love that. I super love that.
maybe Princess of Power pen or something.
Right? Princess of the Pen. I like that. That's very nice. So I'm sure I've told you guys the story of the tiaras, right? I'm sure I have. I don't know. A long time ago, we realized that we were direct descendants of the Scottish royal family, which is no longer a thing. They, moved over. James was the last king of Scotland and the first, I think, James I of England. Anyway, so when we found out, it happened to be right before girls' weekend, where my mother would come down and my niece and just all girls. And we went around all of Sarasota, knighting people where we wore our tiaras everywhere we went, to the beach, to the nail salon, to dinner. And we knighted the tourists because it was Memorial Day weekend. And we just had a lovely time. And I keep my tiara close by because it reminds me of that. Like, it's one of my favorite weekends, vacations with my family. And so, yeah, I've always got a tiara nearby. Ooh, hold on, guys.
Anybody else have interesting relatives on their family tree?
Look at that. So that picture is from that particular weekend. That's me and my lovely daughter, who is now in college. So it was a while ago. Anyway. Sorry, Robert. What'd you say? Tell us again.
Oh, I was just asking if anybody else had any interesting relatives or descendants on their family tree. I have Annie Oakley and Wild Bill Hickok on mine.
Get out! Do you really? Oh my gosh. I would lead with that, man. I love that. I love that. We have a variety of interesting people in our family. George Washington and I share a grandfather. His grandfather was Augustine Warner, who's like my seventh great grandfather or grandmother. Ooh, Mary says, I think my grandmother might have been a witch. Doesn't it skip a generation? I am positive you're a good witch, Mary, but I'm pretty sure. Get out. No, no. I'm very sorry. I'd like to apologize on behalf of, I think this is the thing. As much as we're all fascinated with the royals and happily ever after, and God knows I'm a romance author, but they have done some awful, awful stuff. So that could be like a whole thing. Oh, Good Witch of the South. Yeah. Very nice. Love, love, love. All right. Yeah. I think everybody has probably got some awesome people in their family background, and some not so like some awesome people and some not so awesome people. I think that's just true of life, right? You never know. You never know. Anyway, love that. I hope you weren't in my dungeon. Ooh, Brad Pitt's my distant cousin. He has no idea who I am. Well, that's Hollywood royalty right there. So there you go. Very nice. Very nice. Avi also have Scottish descent. Well, let me just say, those Scottish royals did get around. I think probably there are lots and lots of people, but yeah, right. Avi, we have so many things in common. So many things in common. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and do our next oh, wait. We were going to talk about Spotify.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'll do the news in a minute, but as you guys know, we talk or after our next sprint, but we've talked for the last couple of weeks about how Spotify has now opened up they essentially are doing like an Amazon Prime deal where their members can download, I think was it a book a month or 15 books a month? It was a lot. It was enough. So there was that, audiobooks. And then the other thing was that now, as of like last week, I think they've enabled One Touch Buy This Book. I don't have a lot of audiobooks. And the reason for that is all my earlier books were traditionally published. And so, and it is kind of expensive to produce an audiobook. And they just at the time said, oh, this market doesn't listen to audiobooks, which was fine. And so I didn't have them produced for a lot of my older works and am just now starting to catch up. But my Spotify income 10x'd from last month, 10 times the amount, which is like, I was like, who is this? Whose check did I get today? Or deposit? It's not really a check. But yeah, I was really, and now I'm like, okay, what else? What do I have in there? What do I need to make sure? Because of course I was like, you guys got to get your audiobooks over to Spotify, but it's still on sitting on my to-do list, waiting for action. So yeah, which yep, exactly. Yeah, 10 times. So get your audiobooks up on Spotify. Good gracious, there's a little gold rush happening over there. So very nice. Whew, I'm excited about that. All right, everybody. I mean, here's the thing about audiobooks. There has been a lot of evidence for a while that they are just going to continue to get bigger and bigger. There's such an opportunity with streaming now. I know Lainey's doing pretty well with putting her audiobooks up on YouTube for the AdSense money, which I think is like such a great strategy. So, gets lots of discovery, plus you're still getting paid for people to listen, which I think is pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty cool strategy. All right, let's go ahead and do our next sprint, and then we'll come back to the news when we're all done. All right, here we go, everybody. Let's get rolling. So we're going to get started in 3, 1. Let's write. All right, we are back. Very, very nice. Hold on, let me just get this. Sorry, I was working. I was like really into it. That 20 minutes went by so fast. And I was not prepared for the end of the timer. All right, hold on. My Mac is doing this thing where it like automatically resizes and it makes me crazy. Okay. Let me get rid of the banner. We've got it. It's all good now. It's all good now. So Lainey says, I earn more from audio than I do from ebooks right now. That is like really phenomenal. But Lainey is not my only friend in publishing who is experiencing really rapid audiobook growth right now. 10 times for me on Spotify. And again, I didn't put any effort. This is not a book that I promote. It was just one that got transferred over from Findaway, and there you go. It's on Spotify and now it's earning 10 times as much. So if I'm me, and I'm going to take every single audiobook that I have this week and go make sure it's uploaded over there. Very nice. Amat is here. Hello. Super, super glad to see you today. Okay. So who's ready? Are we ready for the news? Let's do it. Okay. I still love it. I love it so much. Love that. So, what were you going to say, Robert?
Nothing.
Okay. So welcome back to our exciting news program, Paychecks and Plot Twists. So, so story number one, there's a UK startup who is introducing an organic literature stamp to certify that books are human written. The startup in the UK is called Books by People, and it's only for books written by human beings, only with limited AI support for non-creative tasks. Founding indie publishers, including Galley Beggar Press, signed on. The first certified title is Telenovela by Gonzalo G. Garcia, out in November. So
just think about the times we live in, and
right,
books is written by human beings.
Right. I know. I mean, that's the thing. Like, yeah, it is. But my hope is that readers want stories that are written by human beings.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
We have stories, machines don't. They have our stories.
Yes, exactly. So that's exactly right. So we had talked previously about the Anthropic lawsuit, which has settled. It's like $1.5 billion over the using authors' books to train AI models. The settlement is about $3,000 per book covered. Here's the deal. I have heard from so many indie publishers or small press writers who are out of this money and that's the terrible thing. If you are traditionally published, but you're with a small publisher and they did not register your copyright, you are out of luck. And I have heard from so many authors recently who had their book, it's part of their contract that their publisher has to register the copyright for the book. That's part of their responsibility. And they haven't. And so now these authors are out, $3,000 a book. And I wonder if we're going to see some real pressure on small publishers who were supposed to register those copyrights and did not, and their clients lost out. I mean, if it were me, I'd want the money from my publisher. So there's that. Then the last little piece of news that we have, and I did not even think about this. Shira Perlmutter, as you know, a lot of jobs have been cut recently in the federal government. And I was, including the attempted ouster for the person who was in charge of the Library of Congress, and as well as Shira Perlmutter, who is the head of the U.S. Copyright Office. the Trump administration fired Shira Perlmutter, who's the director of the U.S. Copyright Office, shortly after her office released a report that's critical of how generative AI uses copyrighted works. An appeals court later reinstated her because they thought that the move might have violated separation of powers. But here's the thing. The fact that the person who's in charge of the U.S. Copyright Office thinks that generative AI using our work to train AI should not be legal or is a violation of copyright, and that they fired her for that view is really scary to me.
It's a contradiction of so many things.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Blah blah blah. So yes. So yeah, so the Lisa Daily News. Avi, I'm so yeah, it's the Writing Sprints News Network over here. You know what it is I do these little news updates as far as publishing news, and then one day I went a little crazy on Canva and made us a graphic. So, but I love it so much because of the breaking news music. Anyway, Mary says we have a couple of those books. Do you think the publisher owes us that money? Yes, I do. Whatever your share of it would be, it's their responsibility. You signed a contract, and I'm pretty sure I know which publisher it is. So, and you're not the only one. We'll talk at our regular meeting after that. We got a weird audio thing going on. Okay, obviously,
Well,
big ol' yikes. Yeah, so there's that. So,
yeah.
so today's roundup: get your audiobooks onto Spotify ASAP. Register your copyright of every book that you have if you have not already, or at least make sure that they're registered. Those are the two takeaways for today.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, as far as news, my editorial, personal editorial, is I just started like blocking all news media from my social media because that's not what I go on there for. So I think it's kind of just overkill and invasion, and you know, I don't want to see it. I think if we all just stepped back from things that are impinging on our time and our moods, that's the only way to make them feel it. So I encourage everybody to just strike the media down.
I know. It's like I feel that. I really try not to react on any social media on any political news anymore because I don't want to see more of it. I will like book videos all day. I'm trying to just steer clear on politics. So Avi says, I feel like Lisa Daily News would be poolside with a margarita and an alligator. You bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. I can make that happen. All right. So let's go ahead and do our very next writing sprint. Let us know if you guys have if you have writing questions, and we'll get to those after this next 20-minute sprint. I'm ready. I'm like super productive today. I feel like I need to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
So
I was doing really well on this last sprint.
that's good. All right, let's keep it rolling, you guys. Here we go. We're going to get started in 3, 1. All right. All right. How'd everybody do on our last sprint?
Good.
I think if we keep it tight, if we don't have too many questions today, we can actually crowbar in a final sprint today, which would be awesome. This is the time for questions. If you have one, please let us know. Avi says, what would your dream job be if writers didn't exist? Mine would either be a librarian, love my books, yes, or a voice actor, since I've always wanted to voice a cartoon character. That sounds so you. I love that. I don't know. What would I do if I couldn't be a writer? Wait, if writers didn't exist, how would we still have libraries? You know what? We're not going to think about that now. Can't be a writer. Maybe they've just said, nope, we've got enough books in the world. Please stop. And we only have caretakers of books. We don't have any new books coming out. Lainey says, I have no marketable skills other than writing. I'd have to be an oral storyteller. I love it. Do you know what you'd be? Well, maybe you'd be a real detective.
Yeah, detective thing. Or I would just draw graphic novels. Of course, I'd have to write some dialogue, but it wouldn't be exactly the same as a novel.
Right.
So would that be allowed in this
in this terrible new world where there are no writers? I would think so. I forget, right? I mean, obviously you're you were a comic artist first, but I always think of you as, I mean, even though I know that about you and I've known you for a while, I always think of you as a writer first, which is kind of like an author first. So, okay, there's that. You know what? I did love, you guys know I was the dating guru on a national TV show for 15 years. I did really very much love that. Very much love that. Free range female says, my dream job has always been singer, but I have no talent and no one besides me wants that.
Yeah.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I love that. Avi says, no writing dystopia sounds like the 10th circle of hell. I know, right? It really does. I mean, storytelling is so central to human existence. It's how we've survived and connected for since we were, early, since we were cave people. So yeah. Okay. So I'd go back to, again, I don't know how you have TV without writing, but I guess that's what I would do. I really, I've always really loved my time on television. It was super fun. And so I might do that, but I probably also, I can think of a million things. I might teach. I don't know. I can think of a million
Drawing
things.
is, it's still creating something. Yeah, not being a singer, but maybe actually learning to play the guitar better and moving forward with that.
Love it. Love it. It's kind of funny when my daughter and her friend were like in first grade. Both of them decided but Elle decided she wanted to take guitar lessons, and we got her this adorable pink guitar, and she learned from this school of rock kind of place with a teacher who was a graduate from the Berklee Music School. Her friend learned with somebody off Craigslist. And so while Elle was learning all of the proper chords and over the course of months and months and months, the Craigslist teacher moved right to Taylor Swift. And I think that was kind of a genius thing to do, because Jamie, the other little girl, ended up staying with guitar for quite a long time. Whereas eventually, after like 2 years, Elle was done learning the fundamentals of music on the guitar and wanted to just learn how to play Taylor Swift songs. So I don't know. I had a point to that. I don't remember what it was now.
Yeah. Growing up with 80s rock music, I mean, I thought you had to learn all those chords and everything. And then I'm finding out all these great guitar legends don't even know how to play the guitar. They're just sort of doing it by ear and creating music and sound. And it's like, it's still creative, but hell, I could do that.
Right. I think there's anybody who's ever picked up his guitar's been like, yeah, I can totally see that. Daisy says, one of my favorite jobs when I was younger was an assistant manager at a bookstore. Pity retail pay sucks so much. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Whew. Okay, guys, we have. Love that my question demonstrates the vital importance of writers, writing, and storytelling. Yes, you're a mad genius, Avi. We all know this to be true. We all know that you are a mad, mad genius with a great big brain. But thank you for bringing us there today. All right, let's go ahead and do our last sprint of the day. Dun, da, da. All right. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Did I share this? Yes. It's weird that it's all grayed out like that, but I think once I hit go, it'll go. All right, everybody, here we go. Final sprint. Let's see. All right, we are back for the end. So very nice. I was crazy productive today. I don't know about how are you? How'd you do, Robert?
I did pretty well. Sliced and diced up a couple of scenes here and made some improvements. Thanks to that Sherlockian lens.
I love it when that happens. I love the Sherlockian lens. I could use one myself this week. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Well, I hope you guys did really well with your sprints today as well. I was, like I said, crazy productive during these. It went so fast. I cannot believe it's been 2 hours. But it has been. So we are on our way out the door today. Before we go, Robert, tell the fine folks a little about you and your awesome channel.
Well, my channel is The Story Detective, where I separate the facts from the fairy tales of fiction writing and deliver the results to the audience, thanks to my Sherlockian lens, in hopes that you will write better stories.
Oh, they will. And we have all learned the valuable lesson today that writers are essential to the human condition, thanks to Avi. Who has a question? Anybody writing in November? I will be doing my regular writing. I'm not going to, I think Nano's kind of dead. And I know there's sort of like a new sort of Nano replacement. I have enough on my plate. I am going to be continuing to work because I have a book out soon, but yeah, I'm not doing that. So how about you, Robert?
I'll be doing client work, so that'll be my November writing.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Free range female got 1262 overall. You are so welcome for the great start. Thanks so much for being here. I'm Lisa Daly. On my channel, we talk about how to write a book that's that you're proud of and get it published. I don't know what we talk about. I just had like a kind of a moment. We talk about stuff over there. Anyway, thank you guys all for being here today from the Princess of the Pen and the Story Detective. I hope you have a happy Halloween and we will see you all next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
Keep those keyboards clacking.
That's right.
And remember,